They're no longer looking for bodies in the village of Tagadir or waiting for rescue workers to arrive. They found all 13 victims here themselves, digging through the rubble. There are tears for the dead, condolences for the living. Khadija shows us where she was sleeping when the earthquake struck. Piles of stones and a few scattered personal belongings are all that's left of her home. Her son and 2 teenage granddaughters were killed. Everything I had is gone, she tells us. All I have now is the clothes on my back. A pair of her granddaughter's shoes lie next to her. Over on that side of this tiny village, it seems as if a handful of houses have stayed more or less intact, but over here, practically every house has been, Assalamu alaikum, just completely destroyed. And amidst all the grief that the people here have for loved ones who've died in this earthquake, they're trying to work out how on earth they can begin to rebuild their lives. Some villages hit by the earthquake are so remote they're only accessible on foot. Bulldozers are clearing roads blocked by landslides. And thousands are living in tents, either because their homes were damaged or because they fear aftershocks. The needs are immense. Charities are distributing aid, and the government is delivering supplies too. But there's frustration that it's not enough.
I'm crying because we have nowhere to live, nothing to eat or drink. We lost everything.
A catastrophe has hit our village. Everything is destroyed. There were dead bodies everywhere, and we had no one helping us.
Outside the hospital, in a small town of Amizmiz, there's a tent. Patients are treated here, not inside, due to fears around the building's stability. The suffering for the victims of this earthquake is set to continue. Well, yesterday we travelled to the southern side of the Atlas Mountains. Today we travelled to the northern side, and whilst we were on our way there, we were told of some extremely remote villages where dozens of people had died, but in order to get there you have to trek for hours on foot through the mountains. Now, the Moroccan army has been using helicopters to deliver aid to communities like that, but there are quite a large number of these villages spread out over quite a wide area, and frankly it's taken officials even quite a long time to reach much more accessible places, and that's why we've seen frustration with the authorities become quite a recurrent theme everywhere we've gone. Our international teams are on the ground from Spain, the UK, the UAE and Qatar, but other offers to help from other countries have not yet been approved by the Moroccan authorities, and there are questions about why that is, given the scale of this disaster and the scale of this crisis. I mean, remember, in much of the worst affected zone, there's no electricity, no water supply. People have lost everything that that their parents, that their grandparents had worked towards building. They've got concerns about access to food even. So we are seeing a big response from Moroccan officials, but we are also seeing a great deal of resentment. One thing that is not in doubt, though, is the solidarity that's been expressed by other people within Morocco. We've seen queues of Moroccans lining up at blood banks to donate blood to injured people. We've seen people drive down from Casablanca, Marrakesh, other major cities to the worst affected zones just to deliver whatever they can, tents, food. So a real sense of solidarity at a time of real crisis.